Hi, Sadie.
Hi,
Hi, Louise.
Hi.
how you doing?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Great.
Good. I have a hard stop at 10. Sorry, it's I took the day off because it's my 40th birthday, so I have to go do something.
Oh, happy
But I'm
birthday.
here for the call. Thank
Happy
you.
birthday.
Thank you.
Well, welcome. This is the iC3 CEO Forum, a
Hi,
periodic
Rick.
series of get-togethers to discuss topical matters. And we've got a whopper today, GenAI, opportunity or threat. For my 2 cents worth, I'm trying to get people to engage with this subject. It's a threat if you wait for insurance companies to come up with a Gen AI based tool to help you, because I fear it'll be a repeat of portals, and we'll have 10 insurance companies with 10 different Gen AI weapons, and they'll all be expecting you to use theirs. I don't know if that'll happen, but that'd be my fear. I think the other thing is this is different. This is not something where you wait for someone to hand you a working version. I think this is something that you need to jump into and mess around, play with, and learn. It's a total reality shift. So it's an opportunity, I think, if you do grab a hold of it and find ways to use Gen AI to increase the efficiency of your business. But I think probably more importantly, to free your people from boring, routine, mundane work and allow them to have more time for high quality engagement with their clients and prospects. So I think I'm going to keep beating the drum and hope that people pay attention and do get engaged. So to help with that, we've got a very special guest speaker today, Bill Bishop. Bill's the creator of the Big Idea Company. And over the years, I know the tally was over 5,000. It's probably still climbing at a pretty rapid rate. Bill's helped over 5,000 entrepreneurs differentiate their businesses by coming up with a big idea. He's written a number of books, and over the last year and longer than that, Bill's done a very deep dive on Gen AI. So he knows the most about the subject of anyone I know. So Bill, thanks for taking the time to be with us today. And I'm going to
Yeah, it's my pleasure.
the platform, it's all yours. Take it away.
Yeah. Okay, great. That's great. Yeah, I'll just elaborate on what Rick was saying there. What strikes me is how many people are not embracing AI, actually. I was driving back from my cottage last weekend, and there's a lot of Amish in the area that I'm in. And there was like something going on because there was about 20 wagons that went by as I'm streaming by. And it's always kind of interesting, to imagine. And then I just had this thought. I thought, there's a lot of people who are like the AI Amish, I'm calling them. And because I know that my neighbors are Amish, so I talk to them, and they use like electrical tools, but they won't use electricity in their house, things like that, right? So they make this decision. There's just like not going any further with technology. So I thought, these people say, I've got my iPhone, I got my laptop, I use the internet, but I'm not doing AI. I'm not going to go there. So it's kind of like, okay, that's, you've decided that's as far as you draw the line. I don't think that's the best place to draw the line, frankly, in this world that we're in. When ChatGPT came out, I mean, I've been following this. I think the first meeting I had with my clients on AI was in 2017. And then I wrote a book called Dancing with Robots, and that came out 2 years ago. And then ChatGPT came out, and I went, this is it. This is the consumer version of AI. This is something that anyone can use, right? So I just jumped right on it, started using it. And it was kind of like I had bought a piano, and I didn't know how to play the piano. but I started learning about, I mean, watch YouTube videos, how do you play piano, I'll take some lessons. And as I went along, I started to learn how to more and more what I could do with this piano, And so now I'm a year in, and I look at my business now, and basically every part of my business, I use AI in every aspect of it. And I can tell you more about all the things. I'll show you some examples of that. But it's basically now completely embedded in everything I'm doing. And I can't imagine doing it any other way now. And I look at people who aren't doing that, and I go, what a disadvantage they have,
Mhm.
Now, the thing is, everyone that hasn't really done anything with this yet is a year behind, okay? And they're not following along. They're not taking the lessons. So what people are going to say at a certain point is, wait, I got to get a piano. I got to get a subscription, and I got to get on AI. But it doesn't mean you can catch up just by getting the piano, right? Because now you got to learn. So the people that are using it right now are always going to have more or less a head start on you. So this is a cautionary thing to say, now's the time not to be any farther behind. Like, it literally is that kind of thing, because it's the kind of thing that you don't delegate to someone, you don't buy, you have to participate in, because you have to learn how it all works and how it would apply to what you're doing, and then give you ideas on that. So that's my first bit of advice to everyone. Do that. And I remember back in the 90s when we were involved in the internet marketing, digital marketing, and then we started doing websites for people, because they said, we need a website, and it's fine. So the head of the company could say, get me a website. I heard that's a thing now. Get me a website, just build it. So then we'd go away and build it, and then we'd say, hey, there you go, there's your website. And the thing was, though, was that that was something they could kind of buy and delegate. That's not true here. So the other thing is, don't just delegate it to the people around you. You have to be using it yourself. This is key, right? So that's my best bit of advice there. Now, interestingly, ChatGPT, which is the best AI by far. There's lots of other competitors happening, Amazon, Google, Facebook, everyone's trying to get in on it. But OpenAI is the best one by far. You can't even get a subscription now. It's so busy. So you have to get on a waiting list. So that's when right away there's a disadvantage if you haven't already. How many of you have a paid subscription to ChatGPT? No? Okay.
We
So,
might.
pardon
We
me?
may. We may. I'd have to check with Mike on that, but
All
he
right. So
was looking into it.
yeah, see that right away, though, you need to know, you personally need to have one. Okay. That's my point, right? So, this is not something to leave. The other thing about this technology is it's exponential in what it's doing. So ChatGPT, when it first one that was made public, really, 3.3 ChatGPT 3 was followed then by ChatGPT 4. It was literally at least 10 times bigger and better than the one before. So now the next one, ChatGPT 5, will be probably 100 times bigger and better. That could come out any day, right? So the capabilities of this are growing exponentially because they're using AI to make new AI. They're using AI to write the chips that the AI servers run on as well. So this is all happening at an exponential rate. It's kind of like this circle that's happening. But people really don't know what's coming. Okay, so like I said last year that this year everyone would be talking about AI, which is true. Next year, everyone is going to be using AI for sure. Okay, I hope, because that's going to be your best bet. All right, so that's just a bit of a precursor to what I want to share with you here. Now, one of the things that I have always said as well is that we can get very hung up on, just switch the camera. We can get very hung up on the technology itself. It's like, hey, what a cool tool. It's really cool. And I see a lot of people playing around with it, and I encourage them to do that. But it's kind of like it's a solution looking for a problem, right? And so it's also important to start thinking about, well, what are we really, what is this for? Like how could we use this in our business? big question would be, how is this going to affect the insurance industry, the insurance broker industry, the role of the insurance broker? And I think it will have a big impact. I have some theories on it, and I'll share those, and it's not meant to scare you. I think it really is always an opportunity more than anything. So, so the question really I try to put to everyone here, because of this new technology, it's always been a good question to ask, but now because we're really into something very disruptive, is what is the future of your business? Now, most of us don't spend very much time thinking about that. We're really caught up in the present and what we do right now, And I've seen this. I had Kodak as a client. They just never saw the potential really of digital photography and really missed the boat, for example. So I've seen this happen to small companies, medium-sized companies, big companies, where they haven't been thinking about the future at all, and then it just kind of catches up to them, and not always in a good way, right? So I want you to start thinking about what that might look like. The book I wrote in 1995, it was actually the first book on internet marketing. I coined the phrase digital marketing. I didn't know I had done that, but I was using that term before anyone else ever said it. Because I said, I was really thinking about, how will digital technology change business on a fundamental level? Not so, hey, we should get a website, but how is this going to change retailing, for example? People are going to buy online. Well, how's that going to affect bricks and mortar stores? Well, we saw what happened there. Like travel agents, what happened there, right? You just go on, name all the different industries. Every one of them was definitely changed on a fundamental level. All the publishing industry, the media, everything has all been really completely transformed by this. Same is going to happen now with AI. We're going to have the same kind of huge changes because of AI. The only thing it's going to happen way faster. Because with the internet, it took a long time for everyone to get the equipment. You had to have a computer, you had to have a modem, you had to get a browser, you had to do all that. Well, now you want to get doing this, you just turn your computer on and you're using AI. So, and it doesn't require any physical upgrades to anything. It's all just happening in the cloud kind of thing. So this is why it's going to really affect things. That's the question you really got to ponder, right? How is this going to change things? Now, the book I wrote 5 years ago or so called The New Factory Thinker. And in there, I have a little quote. I said, the most important innovation is not technology, but an innovation in how we think about business and the economy on a fundamental level. And see, that's what happened with the internet. It was that there was this new technology everybody got excited about, but a lot of people didn't change how they thought about business, and they missed it. They didn't take advantage of it because they were just caught in an old way of thinking. So it's the same way now. We have a certain way of thinking about things, and now there's this new technology. But what we have to do first is just change how we think about everything. And I'm going to share a bit of that with you in a minute. So this is partly about, hey, here's AI. It's so cool. But really, it's more about how do we really think through this? How do we navigate this? On a strategic level, and that's really the most important thing. So one way of doing this, way of brainstorming and imagining the future, is that just say that we have these two ways of thinking right now. That some people are old factory thinkers and some people are new factory thinkers. So the old factory thinkers are kind of stuck in the past, and they're doing things the way they've always done them, and they're comfortable there, right? And a new factory thinker says, well, there's all this new technology there. What could we use it for? How could we make our business better, to do good things, but also maybe how would it change what we do? And maybe there's other ways of doing what we do. So what I encourage you to do is say, we have our old factory. We're not going to change anything there. We're going to be good, but we're going to add a new factory. So it'd be like if you had a hotel, you start thinking, well, what would be another way of doing this? Oh, Airbnb. Or you had a taxi company. What's another way of doing taxi? Oh, Uber, right? If either of those industries had thought that way, they probably would have invented those things. But at this point, no. Okay, so So the question then on the table is, well, how will AI change your industry, right? That's the thing. And here's a little analogy to think about this in maybe a deeper way. So imagine it's 1880 and you're running a candle factory, very successful, #1 candle factory out there. And so you think everything's great and it'll always continue to be that way. But then somebody comes by one day and says, well, we've got electricity happening in this area, and we can hook up your factory to electricity, and you could run your factory on electricity now as opposed to steam or whatever. And you go, well, that's great. That'll be fantastic for my candle factory. That's going to make my candle factory much more efficient and profitable. So that's great, because then I can use it to make more candles. What would be the inherent flaw in that thinking? Anyone have any idea?
So
Yeah, you're putting yourself out of your own business. Yeah,
How come?
supporting a technology, an advancement in technology that's replacing yourself.
Right.
Right. But even if you didn't support it, right? Like you could be the electricity Amish, right? Because I'm not doing, I mean, that's what they've done, right? I'm not doing electricity. Would that help you? Not really, right? So
No.
how is that industry going to change on a fundamental level? The
Wow.
candle business.
Well,
Right.
essentially, people won't be using candles; they'll be using electricity, and it's just
They'll be using light bulbs. Okay, you see.
going to be
So-
obsolete at a point. So
People are going to stop buying candles like really fast once they get their light bulb in, right? Because candles are actually quite expensive. And only really the wealthy people actually had a lot of candles, actually. Watch all these movies, they have tons of candles. It's like, oh yeah. But back then they were very expensive. Very few people had a candle. When it got dark, they went to bed, right? So, but now we have a light bulb. And so this is really what always happens with new technology, is that someone figures out a better way to do what you're actually up to. You're not actually in the candle business. What business are you in?
The light business.
The light business. And we often lose sight of that. We just think, well, I'm in the candle business, right? So it's like when you're an insurance broker, you might think, well, the insurance policy or something, selling insurance, like that's my candle, but what business are you really in? And then you go, okay, well, we can talk about that. But then we say, yeah, but that's the business really. And someone will figure out how to do that using AI, and it'll be better than using the candle. So this is why we're all kind of in trouble if we don't think bigger about what we're actually doing and saying, I better get on this, because people that are not in my industry don't care about me and keeping my job and my business, right? So like I said, I don't want to scare you, because there's too much scaremongering about this already. But just not knowing or not thinking about it is not a strategy, right? We got to think this could be something significant. So, okay, so the question is, where is AI headed here? Okay, that's the question. Now, I'm going to show you a few things, and you'll just get some idea of that. So let me just change my sharing here. And where were we? I think it's this one. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so all right. Okay, so here is, of course, ChatGPT, right? Okay. So sorry, let me get another poll there. How many of you are using ChatGPT? Anybody?
I'm using it a little bit, just to help improve writing certain articles
Okay.
or optimizing for SEO. But there's other AI generative softwares that I'm using, like Hyperwrite,
Yeah.
that help write it a bit better. And I'm just doing like free trials
Mhm.
just to test it out.
Yeah. So the thing to know about those other services, their underlying model, the underlying AI they're probably using is probably AI, probably ChatGPT or something like that. So this is one thing to understand. So there's these things called foundational models, they call it, AI models. ChatGPT be one of those. And then all these companies are building services on top of that kind of system, the ChatGPT. So it could be that you're using ChatGPT with these other services without knowing it. And what they've done is they've trained it further to be better at that particular task. Okay, so that's maybe what it is. So what's happened though is that ChatGPT now has added in what's called GPTs. So you can now create your own basically AIs. Okay, so imagine the insurance broker GPT. Okay, so it's kind of like an agent. So this is still early on, but let me just bring up this particular one here. So I call this the human AI code creator bot. I will help you create big ideas that provide human-centric value in the age of AI. And that why they call me William, I'm not sure, but I guess that is my name. So it says, help me create new value for my customers. So now it's basically been trained. Okay, so what this bot has done is it's read my books. Okay, so I've uploaded my robot book and my new factory thinker book, and even my book called How to Sell Lobster. I've uploaded that. It's read those books. Okay, so now it's trained like an employee would be to provide a particular function. All right, so this is really a next step, next level thing. This is really just in the last 2 weeks. And the reason why you can't get a subscription on ChatGPT right now is because the people that have a subscription like me are using this like crazy now, because this is like taking it to a point where I can really create these bots that are specialized. Okay, so you can imagine there's someone out there right now that's going to write a bot, the insurance broker bot. Okay, and the insurance broker bot will be able to interview you about your insurance needs, do a risk assessment, and then we'll actually be able to search for all the different insurance policies that are out there, put together the insurance policy, and then send it to you for signing and set up the premium, and it would all be all done. Like literally, that is happening. Okay, like somebody's going to figure that out, because a lot of money in your industry, it's a process you take people through. It can be set up to do that. Okay, and here's I'll just give you a little back. See if I can get in there. Explore. Okay. Yeah. So if I go into the back end of this, you can kind of see how it gets trained. Here, let's see if I can see it configure. Okay. So basically, one of the things that I say AI creating AI is that this is what happens. You want to create the insurance broker bot. You just go on here and it says, what kind of bot do you want to create? I want to create an insurance broker bot. Okay. Well, what do you want to call it? And we'll give a name, and then here's a logo for it. Okay, let's figure out what the instructions are. It'll write the instructions. What else do you want it to do? And you can walk it through a whole series of things. You can upload all your
Wordings.
about how to do insurance, so anything you would use to train an agent or something, right? It can have all the different browsing points. And then the most important thing is this: add actions. Now, this is beyond my pay grade at this point, although I know how it all happens, is that it can be now interactive with all the other things that are on the internet. Like it can literally connect with any different databases and sites and so on. It can just be coded in. And there is a way to automate that too. So you don't need to even hire a broker or a programmer for that. So this is where it's now becoming an agent. Okay. Like anyone that has the term agent in their job description is got a competitor now, because that's what the AI is becoming. It's not just something you chat with and has you write an article. It actually becomes an agent that goes out and does a whole series of steps for you and never stops until it gets it done. So this is where a little bit of fear has come into the whole AI world, is to say, well, yeah, sure, we're going to create a bot for what I'm doing or what you're doing, but someone else could create an agent to go out and scam people or rob a bank or heaven knows what else horrible thing they could get it to be an agent to do. So they're going to have to police that. but that's really where next year you're going to see the emergence of more and more AI driven agents. And that's why this is like version 1 of that OpenAI has created. Okay. When it gets to ChatGPT 5, this is ChatGPT 4.
Okay.
It right now it has an IQ of about 150, which is more than most people. Okay. The next version it'll probably be 1,500 to 2,000 IQ. Okay. And it will have reasoning abilities. So that's an important thing, because right now, this whole thing, this AI, it's a little bit of a magic trick. It's a little bit of a magic trick, because all it's really doing is it's learned a whole bunch of things and it's just kind of making it up as it goes along. And sometimes it makes up things completely, right? We know that. When you train it this way, though, you can get it to not make up stuff. Like it's getting to the point where more and more you can train it so it will make things up. But it could, right? But once they get into the next versions of this, it'll be able to start do reasoning, which it isn't really capable of doing right now. It's just like I say, it's a magic trick, but it'll be able to actually reason. And if you go and Google something called Q star, don't do it now, but later, Q star, and just read what it says about that. Essentially, we don't know a lot about it except the fact that they've had this big breakthrough in the development of AI that scares some people, because it's basically a way of doing AI that has that reasoning ability, which would be able to think through things that it hasn't really been trained on, and think like a human, right? And pull things together and reason. So this is why, I'm telling you that this is not just a little thing. It's not like a little toy or something. This is like earth shattering in a way. Okay. So that's important to know. Okay. So now there's other AIs out there. There's Inflection. They have a very good AI foundational model, Inflection. And it basically runs Pi, which I run on my phone. Okay. And that's actually, I enjoy interacting with that one most. So if I'm working on a book or trying to develop something, or even just trying to think through my business strategies or something, I'll use Pi. It's something, but you can now talk to ChatGPT on your phone if you want, and it'll talk back to you. But I like the Pi one. So there's something about how they trained that one that I just have better conversations with it. So you might want to look into Pi, P-I. You go on your phone and go to this Apple Store, whatever, you'll find that. Okay. Now, this is part of where it's going, is that we have the AI right now, and it's kind of like we're dealing with it on a text space, but the next step will be to really, you're just talking to somebody. Okay. So I just want to share that again. I got to get the sound in there. Where is it? Okay. So what I've been doing, oh God, here we go. I got to do something here. Like I just got a new computer. So that'll work. Okay. All right. So tell me if you can hear this. Let me just play it. Okay. Let me see. Hi there, it's Bill Bishop. Can you hear that?
Yep.
Okay, good. Sorry, a new computer came up with a thing. So, but basically, what I've been doing, I just created this character. I call her Haley. Okay, and really over the last year, I've been training her as my AI assistant. Okay, and I've been kind of getting under the hood. So this is something that you probably couldn't do right now, but within the next month, we'll probably just be online and you can just do it. But I just kind of wanted to get a head start, so I kind of put it together myself, but you just check it out. And I'm going to tell you about something really exciting, which is our upcoming workshop on artificial intelligence, and actually about generative artificial intelligence. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my personal AI assistant, Haley, and she's going to talk to you all about the workshop and why it's a really good idea for you to attend it.
Talking to him.
So there you are. Good morning, Haley. How are you?
Good morning, Bill.
Haley, tell us all about yourself.
Yeah.
We'll talk.
Okay, we'll chat later. Yeah.
You want to
I'm an
mute the
artificial
participant?
intelligence assistant designed to process natural language and generate human-like responses. I've been trained on vast amounts of data using sophisticated machine learning algorithms so that I can understand and respond to a wide variety of questions and topics.
So tell us about this workshop on generative AI.
Absolutely. In this workshop, we'll be exploring the practical applications of generative AI for businesses, covering topics such as content generation, product design, and process optimization.
So that sounds amazing. So what exactly is generative AI?
Generative AI is a subset of artificial intelligence that focuses on creating new and original data, such as images, text, or audio. Unlike other forms of AI, which are designed to recognize patterns in data and make predictions based on that information, generative AI is designed to create new content by understanding and replicating patterns in the training data.
Right. Well, that sounds. I put it to there because she actually gives a very good explanation of what generative AI is. But the main point I'm trying to make here with this is that this is where the representation of AI was going. That you won't be just sitting there typing on a computer. It'd be the equivalent of using a green screen on an IBM computer back in 1981 or something. We're going way past that. So you'll just be able to create all of these different avatars. So what I'm doing in my business is I'm looking at all the different roles and I'm creating the bots for each one of them. And then I'm training them. And eventually then I will embody them with an actual video avatar. Okay. And then basically that's going to be my team of people, including the humans, of course, because I'm not getting rid of the humans, but now a whole new team of people that are trained in those particular areas of my business. Okay. So what we're looking at really now is that AI is started off just to be general knowledge. Okay. So ChatGPT, general knowledge. Okay. It's like it's got a BA, liberal arts BA or something, knows history and so on. That's going to be always the foundation, but then there's going to be an AI that's trained on your industry. So it'll know everything about the insurance industry. Then there'll be one that's trained on your company. It'll know everything about your company. So I just changed computers, but on the other computer I had something called Rewind, it's called. And Rewind basically just tracks everything that I'm doing, knows everything that I'm doing. Basically, it's all protected. I got that clear, but it's all protected. No one can get access to that. But it knows everyone I've talked to, everything I've said to everyone. And I can go in and start asking it questions about, well, over the last month, who was I talking to? I asked it things like, how do you think I could do my work better based on what you're seeing me doing? And it started making suggestions, and because it knows me and my business, right? What I'm actually doing. And then there'll be one that's just trained on you. Okay. So I actually have all those layers, more or less, but they're not connected yet, but they will be eventually. So that's going to be extremely useful. So I call that a stacked AI model. That basically it'll have those 4 components to it, which will be an unbelievably useful to you. So what I see is that very soon, a lot of companies will either have a vice president as an AI as a vice president, or the AI as the CEO or the president of the company. And you will go to them and say, what do you think we should do next? And because it has sort of perfect knowledge, it will say, well, I think you should do this, right? Now, you still have to make up your own mind, right? It's the same as using a navigator in your car, Like this morning, I was going to my tennis club. I always go this certain way, but I said, what's the navigator saying? And it took me on a route through Toronto that it said would be the fastest, but I kind of knew that it wasn't going to be, because I kind of knew how things would turn out, but I decided to follow it. And sure enough, it wasn't right. It wasn't the best choice, right? But most of the time I will agree with it, right? So this is where the human will come in. They'll say, we should do this. And you go, okay. But you might also say no. So you still have that choice, right? At least at this point. That's definitely where things are going. Because it's just like, if you've got you got an AI that's got an IQ of 1500, knows everything about your business, you would certainly want to be bringing that into the decision-making processes, right? For sure. Now, another thing that is kind of fun, and this is kind of where I got, I don't know why it's showing me it that way, but there's a platform called Synthesia, and it's not really showing me that very well, so I'm not going to show you that. But that's how I make the videos using AI. That's a pretty good thing. But here's something to build on Huli. So as I say, I've been training her, right? So she's on my website now. And right now she's still text-based, but very soon she'll just come up on the screen and say, hey, what do you want to talk about? And you'll be talking to a person, basically, right? So it says, I'm your Bill's AI assistant if you got a question, right? So you might, it's got some questions here. We might say, how would a big idea work for an insurance brokerage? Right? Because it knows about big ideas. She's read all my books. She's watched all my videos. She's heard all my podcasts. She's read my website. She's looked at all my social media posts. Okay, so she knows everything about what I'm doing. So let's see what she said. So she goes on about how it'd be really good. And then she says, if you want to book an appointment, you just click here and you make an appointment. Okay. So that is really handy because she's there all the time. She's not, she doesn't cost anything. There's no salary. There's no benefits. There's no sick leave. She's not going to get COVID or anything. So I find it pretty handy. Like I say, I'm not getting rid of people. Okay. But definitely helpful here to have that on it. And that, just think of that as generation 1. Next one would be we're just talking to her. All right. So I think it's the point I'm making here. Biggest point is that you got to start training the bots on what you do. So that's essentially what I've been doing. It's like everything I do, I'm trying to say, I got to have a bot. I'm going to train it to do that so that it can then just do that. Okay. And maybe I don't have to do it. Right. Or do what I'm doing. I can be part of it, but it'll take like 1/10 of the time. That's freeing up a lot of time, right? And then I say, well, how could it provide more value? And then I'm coming up with ideas for that. So this is why it's so exciting. It's like everything I'm doing, I'd say, has AI in it, because I go, why would I not use that tool for everything I'm doing? One of the things I did was I thought, here's something. I made a goal. So one of the things you can do with this is say, think of something you want, and then ask the AI if it will help you get it. Okay. So I thought, well, what I really want is a dashboard where all the financial information of my business and all the other data, like how many clients have we got, how many new clients have we got, et cetera, it would all be on one dashboard and would be constantly updated, like by the minute, basically. So I said, well, could you give me that? Could you help me do that? Right. So it said, yeah, I can help you do that. Where's all the data stored? And I started giving it information about that. So within 2 hours, it wrote all the programming that I uploaded. Didn't even know how to program anything. It just said, do this, do this, do this. And within 2 hours, I had that dashboard, and I've been using it ever since. It literally saves me an hour a week, at least, of hunting through all that information. Plus, I'm able to look at it in any moment. So it just gives me more information more often. So as far as computer programming, not a computer programmer. I was doing computer programming. I got something I wanted, which was very useful. Never would have done it otherwise. I wouldn't pay $10,000 to someone to get that. But in 2 hours for free, basically, I was like, good. So as I've been playing this piano, I've been learning, oh, I could use it to help me do that. I never thought of that before. That's a really good thing. So that one alone was mind-blowing. That just blew my mind, I must say. So but just like, there's just so many stories I could tell you like that. What else have I got here? Okay, so then yeah, so that chat bot, if you wanted to create that kind of thing, there's a site called Chatbase, or if that's Chatbase, yeah. Yeah, it's called Chatbots. Like now they're calling it Chatbots. Oh yeah. Well, it's called Chatbase. I'm not sure why they're saying chatbots there, but so you can go to Chatbase and you can train a chatbot, and then you can put that on your website. Okay, so like That's coming from chat base if you're interested in that one. Okay. Now, another thing that I've been using it for is for creating audio. So going, some of my books are audiobooks, but not all of them. So I thought, well, creating an audiobook is very expensive, but it isn't anymore because now I can create an audiobook. Let's just make sure I've got the audio on again. Yeah. Okay. So I've been able to take my books and create an audiobook for it now. So let's just listen.
How to Sell a Lobster by Bill Bishop. Introduction. A series of fortunate events. I had never been able to get a rise out of my uncle. A generally quiet fellow and a lawyer by trade, my uncle always maintained a pretty even keel. But one night at a family dinner party, I got him laughing uproariously. I was telling him about how I employed a special marketing trick years before to sell more than 1,400 lobsters in a waiter contest. He thought the story was hilarious. "I can't believe you did that," he said between gasps and guffaws.
So that's not a person speaking, that's an AI speaking. Basically, I
Wow.
just uploaded the book and had it do, like, I've tried it before with just the regular kind of computer voice. It just sounded really flat. It would just read it very monotone. This actually knows what it's reading. And you'll notice there when it said, "Oh, I can't believe you did that," that added all that inflection in it. I didn't have to train it to do that. It just knew that that would be a good thing to say at that point. So it really does sound like a human, right? It's not good for the people who do audiobooks. Okay, I can tell you right now, that is not a good thing. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, 11 Labs is really the site for that. Okay, so that's the it's called 11 Labs that you could try out. Kind of useful. Now, this site is called HeyGen. This really blew my mind. Okay. Probably the funniest thing too I've ever gotten out of AI. I think that there is a lot of funny stuff that we've done. So basically I did a video about why you need a big idea. That's my thing, right? I'm helping people come up with big ideas. I wanted to have that on my website. So on my website, there is the video, why you need a big idea. And if you watch that, you'll just hear 2 minutes, a second of it. If it come on. Hi, I'm Bill Bishop. I want to tell you why you need a big idea. Okay, so we got that, right? But I have, like, my books have been sold all over the world and stuff. So I thought, well, what if I had a translation of that? So if you go here, and we just listen, it translated it into Korean, but it did more than just translate it, okay?
빌 비숍입니다. 왜 큰 아이디어가 필요한지 알려드리고 싶습니다. 시장에서 두드러지는 큰 아이디어는 다수의 고객을 유치하고 각
So
even
it really is amazing how much you can learn on Duolingo. Like, people were so impressed. And I was like, I can't believe you learn all that on Duolingo. Like, literally, I had one friend thought I had totally done that. He said, I can't believe you knew Korean. I said, don't know Korean. I know AI, but thanks for that. But did you notice something that it did there? Just like.
예, 안녕하세요. 저는 빌 비숍입니다. 왜 큰 아이디어가 필요한지 알려드리고 싶습니다.
Yeah, so by the time I stopped laughing, it was just hilarious. Then I started noticing my lips. What did it do with my lips?
It followed the words.
It followed the words. So what basically it's done is take my lower part of my face, and it's actually created like it's redoing the bottom of my face so that the lips move with it. Okay, so that's what that's up to there. Let me see. Also, another thing I did. Let's see if I can get to it. Go to HeyGen. Yeah, here we go. So the other thing it will do is it will actually create a version of you. Okay, so this is the other thing people are doing. You can use these avatars, but what if you're the avatar? It actually takes your entire body and makes you into an avatar that then you can direct to do things. So maybe people come to my website and they don't see Haley, they see me, and it's my avatar talking. Okay, me. It's like representing me. So here's let me see if I can get to be bigger. Here we go. Just watch this for a second.
Hey, Bill, your instant avatar is ready. Feel free to create videos with it. Also, Click the feedback button to share what you think. Hope you enjoy.
That's
Okay,
great.
so that's actually me. Let me see what happened to my videos. Where did my video go? Anyway, there was one that did it somewhere. Lost my video. Maybe I can find it. I don't know, but it gave me, basically what I did was it watched me. I spoke for a couple of minutes, and then it made a video there. Oh yeah, here we go. Let's see. Oh yeah, here we go. So basically I took that avatar and then I made this video. It's too big. You can see that. Play it.
Hi there. We had a great meeting last Monday of our Big Idea Future Business Network. We had a lively group of business leaders on hand. I encourage you to watch the video of the meeting. In the session, we discussed 3 things.
Okay, that was not me. I was walking my dog while I was making that thing. Okay, I came back and there I put the script in. I actually had AI write the script. Okay, so because it watched the show, okay, that I did. I have a Monday morning meeting, and it watched the show, and then it made a description of it. So yeah, I wrote the description of the meeting, and then I uploaded into this, and then I am talking to people about what happened at the meeting, but it's not me. Now the only weird thing with this one,
1.
my hand,
Golden sphere, building on Simon Sinek's golden.
So when it trained it, I had my hands going like that. The hands are going all over the place. So it's not that's generation 1. I'm gonna have to work on that one, but I don't even know if I want to do that because it's me. I want to be me. I could just make my own video, but a lot of people are saying, hey, I could train a bot that would represent me. People could come. They're talking to me. So what's the implication of all that? Okay, just with that. This is, I'm just giving you like this tiny little piece of this right now. Is that what I see is that from a marketing standpoint, it's like it's an insurance business or anything. Like I'll just talk about my business first. Basically, the offer will be to people, there's 3 levels you could do the Big Idea program. Level 1, you work with the chat bot. You work with BillBot, okay? And it'll just go through it with you. And it costs, $5,000. Then you can do the half bill, half real bill, half bot bill, $10,000. And then you can work with real bill, $25,000. Okay, which do you want to do, right? And some people say, well, I just want to save money, so I'm going to go with the bot, whatever that would be. That's just going to get better and better anyway. So that's for me like a great scaling opportunity, right? You can just say, I'm going to have people working with me all the time while I'm off
Golfing.
Mexico or whatever, and that's like the ultimate thing, right? The half hybrid thing would be good. I can come in at certain points and offer the human part, right? Or just full human. So I think that working with a human will become the kind of like premium thing. You want to talk to a human? That's a premium thing. Because you know what? Humans have a limited amount of time. So that's very precious. And also they have insights that the AI will never have. Because this is the other thing. Don't be so scared by all that, because I tell you, it's only as good as what's been trained. What that's not really capable of doing, at least at this point, is any kind of original thought. It's going to give you a version of something, but it's never going to give you that aha where it's like totally original thought, which sometimes that's what your customer needs, right? That. The other thing is that you need to have something advanced that you're offering people, okay, as the human. And that advanced thing is what your differentiator is, because anything that's basic will be done by an AI. Anything that's kind of a thing that everyone does, that will be done by an AI, because it'll be a standardized thing. AI will learn how to do it. That's all there is to it. So you need to have a more advanced thing. Hence our idea of a big idea, like we're saying. You need to have like your gourmet process, right? And just in the few minutes I have left, I'm going to share with you, which is, I think, the most exciting thing of all. Okay. So in my book, Dancing with Robots, I got started in thinking about, well, what are humans really good at? What are our human superpowers that the AI isn't good at, or really it's in a way just would never think of doing? Okay. And this is what it was really where I came down to. It's like, there are things that we do that the AI would never think of doing. Okay. And, or just because they're not not biological, they would just never do. So these are, I call the C-suite of human superpowers. So these are the things to focus on in that like new factory I'm talking about, is to say, what can we do that would be the real human thing that we could make our, and especially if you combine that with AI, think about it, right? That hybrid idea. We do our human thing and the AI does its AI thing. We got something really good. So just quickly, there's I think 9 of them. The first one is connector, okay, of bringing people together. So I know my business, we've got more and more into that. Just like here with Rick and Sadie, they bringing people together here into this meeting, creating a community. That is something that the AI isn't going to do. It's not going to be able to create community of humans. Wouldn't even think of it, but you can bring people together. So this is why we believe now going forward, don't build a business, build a community. That would be a very good thing to do. Next one is creator. Come up with new ideas, thoughts, the original ideas, right? So when you're working with your clients and so on, you can say, well, we need to come up with some new ideas for you for what you're doing, risk management or whatever. Really, you could almost do anything, right? But just the creativity part, like what, AI is creative in a sense, but really, it's really relying on our creativity first to feed it what it should be creative at. Communicator. There's nothing will replace someone sitting with a human to human interaction. You'll be able to pick up a lot of things that's going on with that person that an AI could never do, right? It could use facial recognition, say this is who this person is or something, and access their data on the internet, but it's not going to pick up that person's feeling scared that day or excited that day, or they've got concerns with you or something. You'll be able to pick that up, right? What AI can't do. A combinator, that one is pretty exciting. So what we believe is that the AI era will be the age of the generalist, the people who have a lot of different experiences in life. Specialists are the ones that will be in trouble because the AI can take over that specialty. But someone who has all kinds of different experiences in life, like in my case, I've been a waiter, I've been a chauffeur, I've been a ski instructor, I've been a tennis instructor, I took journalism, my dad was a marketing guy, right? So all those things I've combined together into something kind of original. And then that's something that the AI, at least at this point, can't do because it doesn't have life experiences like that. So the people who have those, if you're looking for new people to work with you, those are the kind of people that you might want to find, is that they have a lot of life experiences that they can combine together, right? The curator is to say for your clients to say, look, I'm going to help you find resources to help you. We've curated a whole bunch of resources and you don't have to go looking so hard because we can just direct you to those resources, right? Because we've already vetted them, kind of thing. Curator's big. Coaching is really the emphasis of that is say, help your clients create a goal and then keep coaching them to keep working towards the goal, even though it's at some points it gets hard. Say, let's figure out a big goal together and then we'll just keep coaching you on getting there, even when it gets hard. I won't let you down. I'll help. I won't let you let yourself down. We'll all move forward. So coaching. So that's a few more. Where's that it? Nope. Oh, yeah, we go. And then collaborator is, I believe this is the age of collaboration now, is people working together. I have a network for financial advisors that Rick has his network, Broker Bridge. These are collaborative networks, people working together to help each other. I think that's a good thing. So it kind of builds on the connector part. Caregiver. So, nothing will replace a human being caring for another, right? So if your client feels like you really care for them, that goes a long way, right? The AI pretends to care for you, right? But you kind of know it doesn't. Okay, unless you're in a complete delusion, you go, that's just an algorithm talking. It's not really caring about me. So that's a piece that I think humans will always have over the AI, I think. And then the compassionator is just saying, you have compassion for this person that's sitting in front of you. They're a human being. They have, all the shocks that we're all prone to as human beings. If I have compassion and I can bring that to bear, I don't really think AI can ever have genuine compassion. It could have simulated compassion. I don't think that's the same thing. So essentially, what I feel about those things, and that was a lot of information there, but is that the AI, even though now it's going to lose my job, well, maybe it won't be so bad to lose our job, because now it'll free us up to do a better job, a more interesting job, and to be able to focus on those attributes of our being than just doing repetitive, specialized things that maybe in the end wasn't really that interesting. Maybe there's more interesting things we can do. So I got 1 minute left. Came in 1 minute. That's it. That's all I'm going to say.
Can I ask a real quick question?
Yeah.
Compatibility with technologies through the years. We know many technologies fail on that end. Like if someone goes to a website, for example, and wants to communicate with your chat bot or whatever, my question is just, where are they at with regards to, can I use my iPhone? Can I use my Android? How easy is it for me just to say, hi, Bill's bot, I have some questions, or am I having to install something, an app, this and that, which will be obviously obstructions to the deployment of these technologies? And could you comment on that?
Well, you're talking about the interface, so it's still a work in progress. But of course, like OpenAI, I just use them. They're constantly working on that exact thing, right? That they're all trying to make it as user friendly as possible, and it'll just become more and more embedded in everything, to the point where you won't even know you're using an AI, right? It'll just be everything. I mean, they're really saying that it's going to end like search engines for one. And it might end websites, completely change the internet, right? But only when it becomes as easy to use as a website, for example, right? I think so. That's a good question. One of the things to bear in mind is that all of those things right now are in version 1. So you just have to think ahead of a couple of versions. Now by version 3, which could happen within months, it'll be that. And that's what we're seeing. Like the user interfaces of all these things have a year later are dramatically better. Yeah, because it really is all that's left. It's just the interfaces.
Thanks. Yeah.
So keep that in mind. Yeah. Any other questions? How do you feel about what I talked about?
Very.
Scary?
Scary.
I think it's pretty exciting myself. I mean, our business has continued to be one of the most scale businesses on the planet, moving at the slowest pace of any business. So I think for us that are in this right now, talking to you, that, the opportunity, because we know that 90% in our business are just going to keep doing what we've done for, 100 years. And it allows some opportunity. I don't think it needs to be fearful or anything like that. I've always said in our business, you could go knock on a door. There's always somebody there. You can always sell. But I think it's exciting for the opportunities for our business specifically because of that reason. So I think it's pretty cool. Yeah.
One thing I always like to do is, it's almost like a fun exercise for me, is to think about, well, how would the insurance industry operate differently in this new world, right? Like what would that look like the light bulb, right? And So I go, okay, well, maybe in, let's say commercial insurance, right? So you have some kind of factory or something. And you can go to the factory and say, well, you can do the basic insurance way, and we'll just charge you a premium, and it'll be fairly high because you have a lot of risk. Or you can go into our hyper insurance system or something. And what they do is, and I have a client who is kind of working on this. He creates digital twins of buildings. Okay, so they go in and they basically scan the whole thing. They're doing actually the Parliament buildings in Ottawa right now. So they're scanning the whole inside of the Parliament buildings. So there'll be a digital twin. It's kind of like you can go into a metaverse and go through the whole building. And then what will happen from that digital twin is you'll have all these Internet of Thing devices and all the HVAC equipment and the security alarms, and it'll help you manage your lighting and everything, keep the energy use down and stuff. And then it will be on all the security cameras, and then the AI will be looking at everything that's going on and saying, this is how you could lower your risks. And
Risk management.
as you start doing the things that will lower, or it just proactively does it, your insurance premium is being calculated based on what the AI believes your risk is at any moment, right? So the more that you comply with what the AI is asking, the lower your insurance premium goes, because you are
Reducing your risk.
Minimize your risk, right? I could totally see that happening very soon.
Very cool.
All that technology exists, right? And it's the same as like car insurance sent me one of those little, but I don't know what they call it, telemonitor or something, and it plug it into my car and it tracks my driving patterns, and then my insurance is adjusted accordingly, right? So it's kind of the same thing, but on a bigger scale, right? That's definitely going to happen, right? Because if you imagine having an AI that's always saying, okay, well, I noticed someone was kind of having a hard time getting down those stairs. Maybe you should put up a sign saying, be careful, and also some strips on the stairs, because I noticed somebody had a hard time there and might have slipped, or someone did slip, or I noticed that they're washing the floor at time when people are coming into work. So don't do that. Do it at 8 o'clock in the evening, because that's when there's nobody around, to lower your risk, right? Not as many people could slip on that, wet floor. It would just go on like that.
So cool.
You see that happening? I do.
Oh yeah.
We're a knowledge-based business, so I mean, we're definitely susceptible to everything we tell our customers is all based on information. So
right.
I mean, what you're talking about would presumably involve, cameras and hardware, but I mean, the real base of our business is actuarial data and workings and information. So I mean, there's absolutely a million applications in our business that it can be used either by the broker or potentially, replace the broker for simple things like, is water damage covered by my comprehensive wording with Intact? And yes, absolutely. Under section 11.3-4, you hit it, unless it's during the heating season and you have failed to blah, 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 spit it all out in 30 seconds and just saved a 10-minute phone call for someone to say, hey, how was your holiday? To a staff making, a significant salary. So yeah, I mean, we could probably come up with 1,000 right now of simple questions. I won't even say simple, but more information-based questions that our staff answer on a daily basis. So it's, I don't think it's scary. I think it's a cool opportunity, and it'd be interesting to see, where it goes, and what happens from here. We're a highly regulated business too, so we get to deal with that side of it. So like I said, I think I said last time we spoke, Bill, I'll make the first chatbot to pass the level 2 AIC exam. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see how far I make it with that.
They've been doing that with different industries. I don't know if and it's been passing them, like the law boards and stuff. So medical exam. It's like the medical exam. Now,
once they have the information, Bill, they don't have to be
more about AI. Yeah. You want to learn more about AI? On Mondays, I have the meeting and we talk about lots of this stuff, but a lot of AI, and I have my AI experts come. You can ask them questions. So I just sent that to Future Business Network So you can come to that meeting on Monday if you want to. If you can't make it, then I'll just send you the video, but that might be something that you could also do a deep dive in the AI thing. So you just fill out that form to get on the list basically there, if you want to do that. Doesn't cost anything or anything. I also have a directory here. I'll just send you that of AI things that I talked about. Let me just grab that one. While I have a moment. Let's see, AI resources directory. Whoops. Yeah, so there's a bunch of them there that I mentioned. So maybe that's the easiest way for you to take a look. So that second link there, if you click on that, there's a directory of the resources that we curated, like the HeyGen and stuff. It'll show you where to get there. And you can read over what I'm said about them. So there's about 20 or 30 on there right now that are useful. You can check out. Seeing that?
In the chat box.
What's that?
Did you?
The chatbot one? Yeah, chat base. It's on there.
The things you said you were going to send us, they're in the chat box, I assume.
The chat, yeah. So you see that?
Yeah, he did. It's in the chat box, Rick.
Hopefully it's there. So the first link was for the AI meeting, and then the other one is for the resources there.
Right.
Yeah. So anytime I come up with a good one, I just put it on there, and then that's a handy way to keep track of them.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Rick, and everybody. This has been very insightful, very, very interesting.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks
I'm going to
for-
stop the recording now.